Good morning. Welcome to the update from the bunker. It's Tuesday, the 28th of April, and it's rained here in the Moselle, which is welcome relief actually from the heat. What it means is that all the pollen that had collected on the cars has now turned to like a mud, a mush. So we've probably got to go and hose them off or something like that at some point. But it's rained, and the garden looks better for it. And it's really humid now, though. It's really steamy. So anyway, it's rained. All is good. I hope you guys are okay as well. And looking at the way people are communicating around this COVID-19 situation has been a mixed bag, a real mixed bag. And in terms of leadership, if you've got a team of people or you're running a business or you need to give news to people, a couple of things, a couple of tips that I learned in my career as an operations manager working in the manufacturing sector. I remember once there was a company, my job was as like a troubleshooter to go around the group and run, shut, fix, whatever it was, any divisions that weren't doing very well. And one particular company was struggling quite badly. The numbers were all over the place. And so I was invited to go and sort it out. I was up in Rochdale, live the dream, eh? Live the dream. And this is donkeys years ago. Anyway, my director said, go up there, get your hotel booked, get packed, you're going up there, stay there during the week, come back home at weekends, 12-month gig, get it sorted, away you go. So, okay, that's fine. He drove me up there. And while we're driving up there, I lived in Bristol at the time, was to go and just talk about the numbers and the approach and all this sort of thing, and the balance sheet to go through, whatever it was. And that was all very good, exciting. And we got into about on the motorway about 20 minutes away from the factory. And Paul, my director, he phoned up on remember the old Motorola car phones that were hardwired into the car? Anyway, he had one of those. He thought it was so cool. And he phoned ahead and he spoke to one of the guys there. Can you get everybody into the car park for when we arrive in about 10, 15 minutes? And there would have been about 80, 90 people there, I suppose, at the time. And anyway, when we got there, we put up in the car park. It was a nice sunny day. And they're all stood there, green overalls, all this sort of thing in the car park, having no idea what was going to go on. And we pulled up, and Paul got out, introduced himself, told him who I was, and he got a can of paint out of the boot, the car in the car park, and he painted a line down the car park, a yellow line, I think it was, down the middle of the car park. And he got on a little box. And he said, "Okay, guys, we've got some bad news for you, and we've got some good news for you." Oh, crikey! So he stood up on this little box. He said, "First of all, your current operation manager's been fired, and he won't be coming back again. You won't be seeing him. He's gone. I had to do that the day before. So he's gone. He's not coming back again." And he said, "This is your new operations manager." Pointed at me over here. "Thanks very much. Welcome to the gang." And he said, "Now we're going to have to make some cuts, some cost cuts, and we're going to lose some people." He said, "So now, right now, before we do anything, you've got a choice. You can stay with us, or you can leave. If you choose to leave, well, then we'll give you your check. You'll give you your P45, and you can leave the site immediately. If you stay with us, then we're gonna fight for this thing." He said, "So now you've got 5 minutes to choose, and you either come on this side of the line to stay in the company, or this side of the line to leave the company." Oh, my goodness, what's going on? Anyway, the waters parted. About 30 people decided they wanted to leave, and the other people wanted to stay. So we gave them all the envelopes. The 30 people left, and there was about 55, 60 people left. And then Paul stood up again, and after they'd left the site, the other people had left the site. And he said, "Look," he said, "one promise I make to you." He said, "This is my best operations manager. I'm backing him. He's backing you." He said, "No more job losses. Do what we ask you. Dig in, fight with us, and I guarantee no more job losses." Jumped in his car, and off he went. And I'm stood in the car park with 55 people who are thinking, what the heck was all that? That all took about 15 minutes. So went back into the office, and we got everybody together again, and they're highly emotional, highly charged. And one of the guys came to me, he was a forklift driver, I think, from memory, and he said to me, he said, "That was bloody brilliant." I said, "What do you mean, brilliant?" He said, "You know what?" He said, "The previous operations guys we've had here, they never told us what was going on. It was always rumor, it was always hearsay, it was always assumptions." He said, "But you guys turn up, and we might not like it," he said, "but you told us exactly what the bad news was, and you gave us hope." He said, "You give us hope, and we'll work with you." And I thought, wow, that's a very powerful story. And we turned it around. It was good. It was okay. We actually got some of the people to come back as we grew along. And actually, it wasn't the problem with the people in the company. It was a problem with management, the previous management of the company. And we sorted that out. And then the business thrived, and off it went. But the message really was, I think, if you've got to give people bad news, give it to them. You don't have to be unkind and horrible about it, and don't text them about it. But if you're going to give them bad news, tell them, let them deal with it, get it out of the way, get it done, allow them to move on, and so you can move on, get it out of the way. But also, if you're going to give people bad news, you've also, where you can, got to give people hope. You've got to give people good news as well, and be absolutely clear about it. And once they have hope, then they'll work with you, they'll work for you, they'll fight for you if you give them hope. And I think now through this pandemic, we can now start to hope that the restrictions are going to be relaxed. We can hope that things are going to get a bit better. It won't go back to how it was before, 100%, I don't think. Well, in some ways, we hope it won't go back to 100%. But we can now hope that things will improve and develop. Shops are beginning to open, businesses are relaxing a little bit. Yes, we've got to take precautions, and I think the face masks and social distancing will stay in place for some time, just my guess. But we've got hope. With hope comes positivity. With hope comes potential. So if you're leading a team of people, you don't lie to them, don't give them false hope. But there are a lot of bad news over the last few weeks, and be really clear about that. If it is bad news, then tell them. But if it's good news and hope, tell them that as well. Give them hope. Give them regular updates. Communicate regularly. When we had this business up in Rochdale, we had daily get-togethers on the shop floor. First 20 minutes of each day, I was on a little box telling them exactly what was happening with the clients, the customers, the cash flow, the balance sheet. They knew about debtors. They knew about everything in the business. And we told them as we went along, that reduced a little bit. We did it once a week in the end. And I think they really appreciated it. And it helped. They helped us and we helped them. So bad news, if you've got to give it, be human, be kind about it. Do it face to face if you can, or over video if you've got to give bad news. But give them hope as well. Give them good news and keep communicating. Let them know what's going on and they'll support you. So a couple of tips I learned from my journey in operations management. By the way, you can't do that nowadays. I'm pretty sure you can't draw white lines or yellow lines in a car park and park the waters. Not allowed to do that now. And I'm not sure we were allowed to do it back then. But anyway, we did it. Paul did it. So anyway, there we go. So a bit of updates on leadership for you. I hope that was of interest and some tips for using for you. Have a great day. It is beginning to rain again here, so it's all very good. And stay away from people. Stay safe. Wear those face masks. And I'll see you hopefully tomorrow on what will be Wednesday. So take care for now and see you soon. Bye for now.